Yeah, there's a lot of restrictions when you live in a town and when most of the population is older.
Mm.
Um, but once again, there's a small bus that does a run to Port Pirie with a few of them every couple of weeks so they
Oh,
can shop. Yeah.
oh,
So,
that's good.
yeah, we've got a couple of disabled men in the town. One's a year older than me, so he's 68 now, and another man who's younger that lives quite close. And this town is beautiful how it just looks after its people.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm really glad to be here and I'm happy to spend the rest of my life here because I just see the support that others give and yeah,
Mm.
so
It is different, the culture in a small town to a big town.
yes,
In
yeah.
big town, nobody knows you.
Yeah. So there's disadvantages and advantages, isn't there?
Mm.
Yeah. So, and I
Yeah.
think people from outside city people particularly go, oh, little towns are really, really friendly. No, they're not friendly. Um, what it is that everybody already knows each other. So they're going to say hello and wave. And if you're a city person, you've come in, because this is my experience. I was city and then I came into small towns before, they're all related. They all know each other. They went to school together and stuff. So, of course, they're smiling and saying hello. But I've moved into towns that weren't friendly at all to outsiders. What's beautiful about Gladstone is it's had a rollover of staffing in all the larger corporations that were here. So, some time ago, it had between 1,500 and 2,500 people. So there were three banks, two fuel people, Etsa, Telstra, a whole heap of things. And they rotated their staff every few years. So the town kind of had a group of people that are always changing. So those people, the transients, were all friendly with each other too. But someone new came in, they were used to encompassing them.
Yep.
Whereas the long-standing people weren't aware that you'd moved in. So, yeah, it's
One of the small towns I moved into, I remember when I first got there, I thought, oh, this is really friendly. And it was. They were actually friendly.
mm,
But because it was so many interrelated family relationships,
mm,
it was hard to get past they're just friendly
mm. Yes,
to actually make meaningful relationships. And that takes years.
it does.
It takes years
Because
because they just haven't got room for anybody new. Like their life is full with
yeah,
the networks that they've already got. And so when somebody new comes in, it's not that they don't like you or that it's just that they don't have room.
they don't have the bandwidth because they've already got
Yeah,
all their friends and all their friends are really close, like
exactly, exactly.
geographically close, and
Mm.
so are their family. Yeah, I
Mm, mm. And
I've had it.
especially some of them that have got big families, by the time they actually, socialize and more than that, but help the
Mm,
family members, there's just not a lot of time left in the
yeah,
week. Yeah.
mm. I was really fortunate. I think if I hadn't been invited out to, well, they called it a CAFS, Child and Family Health Group. And by this stage, some of the kids were older, so they were just going out to dinner once a month. And the lady from the post office at the time, Janine Harvey, hello, invited me out to a meal. And I met a couple of other ladies. And then the lady I've been most closely probably associated for the last 25 years is Lisa Steele. Hello, Lisa. Um, has just kept me in the loop and yeah, so she invited me for coffee, she invited me to a Tupperware party. It's that stuff. Had she not done that next step, I don't think I'd have lasted in Gladstone for more than 3 months,
Mm,
because while we knew a lot of people through our business, through our seed grading business, they all knew Tony, and they all the blokes would ring me to do the bookings and stuff, but like you said, they don't need me.
mm,
they,
mm,
they don't care if I, yeah.
mm,
If they never see me, it doesn't matter. It's yeah,
no.
not within the
And
bandwidth.
it's not that
So,
they're nasty people or they're
oh
not
no.
friendly or anything else. It's just that their lives are so full of
Oh,
meaningful relationships already
that's
that
right.
there's not room for more meaningful relationships. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that can be one of the downsides of
Yeah.
small communities.
And having said that, I mean, we homeschooled, so we didn't have a school connection. We don't do pubs, so we didn't have the pub connection, and we don't don't do like general sports. So we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot as well. So if you do sports, pub, and school, you're probably going to blend into a country town much quicker than we would have.
As long as the sport is the one that's the sport.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's not a lot of option in sport, isn't it? It's football and then either
Netball.
usually football
Mm.
and then either basketball or
Netball, yeah.
netball, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, there's a whole heap of other
A lot
sports.
of the other smaller ones, it's just not as big a take up for
Well,
connection
certainly in a
I'm
small
talking about.
town. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a swimming club, but that only runs for 3 or 4 months a year because the pool's only open a certain time and stuff like that. So, and that's also school related. So, yeah. So I was just really fortunate to land with the people that were going to reach out or would have been, yeah,
Mm.
reaching out anyway. So,
Yeah.
and that's grown. So there's quite a group of us that are, yeah, not local because we haven't been here for 50 years,
That's it.
but
Yeah.
we're semi-local.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Soon you'll be local, I'm sure.
yeah. I'm not, but that's okay.
You only need another 10 years, Dee. You'll be right.
I'm claiming Gladstone as mine regardless. They're stuck with me. Oh dear.
Yeah, yeah. It takes a long time to learn a town, doesn't it? And to
Yeah,
integrate into it and become part of its fabric.
yeah. And the other thing, of course, is I still don't know half the people here,
No, well,
because
could
I'm
you?
once again I'm still not in those circles. Yeah. So, but also I think that you and I, having been sole parents, um, wanting to be educated, wanting to change our lives, we tend to create other groups. So we tend to have friends. Well, I've got friends on the East Coast in 2 different locations, and then I've got other friends. I'm not fully entrenched in just having one network. So
Mm,
I've got multiple networks,
mm,
and I think you're the same. So
mm, mm.
it's slightly different mindset.
Yeah. Well, and the new communication that is available to us now makes that more and more possible.
Yes.
Though, it's not the same having a Zoom call as catching up and sitting at the local pub and having.
I took Tony there last week and I thought, oh, it'd be nice to see Sonia. So, yeah. And the lady, yeah, that works the bar. I think her name's Rose.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Yeah. She's just so lovely. And it's
yeah.
that's the thing you get that in communities in the city too. If people do enough within their community,
Mm,
people go to the same cafe every day or
mm,
so many
mm. Yeah,
times
you
a
become a
week.
regular.
Yes, yeah. So there are the sort of clumps of community within the city. It's
Mm,
just a bit possibly deeper in the country.
mm.
Mm.